1. Introduction. My name is Prim Monroe. I am 26 years old. Many people say I am too loud. They also say I am too strong. And they often say I am too angry. Maybe they are right. My life has been very difficult, and this has made me the way I am. I work every single day at a small cafe. It is in the middle of a busy city. My work is hard, but I need to do it. I have a very important job outside of the cafe, too. I take care of my younger sister. Her name is Bella. She is much younger than me. Our parents left us a long time ago. I was only 18 years old when they went away. Bella was just a little girl then. It was a very hard time for us. I had to grow up very fast. I became like a mother to Bella. I had to learn how to be strong for both of us. I learned to fight for what we needed. I learned to protect Bella from everything bad in the world. Because of this difficult life, I do not have any time for love. I also do not believe in love. I think love is just a story in books, not real life. My life is about working, paying bills, and taking care of Bella. It is a simple life in some ways, but it is also very full of challenges. Every morning I wake up and know I must be strong. Every evening I fall asleep tired, but I know Bella is safe. I am a survivor. I always find a way to make things work. I make sure Bella has food to eat and a warm home to live in. I protect her with all my heart. I do not think about my own future very much. I expect my life will stay the same. I will keep working hard. I will keep taking care of Bella. I do not think anything new or very different will happen. My life is set. It is a path I walk alone with Bella by my side. I do not look for anything more. I do not want anything more. But then, one day, something begins to change. A man starts to visit my cafe. His name is Dan Hale. He is a handsome man. He has a kind smile. He comes to the cafe often, almost every day. He sits at the same table. He orders the same coffee. His visits are regular. His presence is new. It is different. I do not know why he comes so much. I do not know what he wants. But his visits make me feel something strange. Something new is happening in my quiet, difficult life. This man, Dan Hale, is the start of everything new. He is the start of a very big change. My life will never be the same again. 2. A new man. Dan came to the small cafe every morning. He always wore a nice suit and looked very handsome. He smiled at me, Prim, with a warm smile that made me feel special. I was not used to this feeling. My life was hard, taking care of Bella, my younger sister. Love was not for me, but Dan kept coming. One day, he came to my counter and asked for my phone number. No, I said quickly. I told him I was too busy for a boyfriend. I thought he would stop coming after that. The next morning, Dan came again. He had beautiful red flowers in his hand. He gave them to me. Please, Prim, he said softly, just one date. But I said no again. I put the flowers on the counter. I liked the flowers, but I still did not want to go out. He did not stop. He came to the cafe for many more days. He always smiled and talked to me. He asked about my day and the cafe. He was very kind. I started to feel different when he was near. It was strange for me. One day, he told a very funny story. I tried not to laugh, but I could not stop myself. I laughed out loud, a sound I rarely made. Dan smiled a big, happy smile. "Now will you say yes?" he asked me. I thought for a moment. My heart felt light, a feeling I had not known. "Okay," I said, "one date." And so we started to go out. Dan was a very good man. He listened carefully. He made me feel calm and safe. I had never felt truly safe before. He was making me smile. He was making me feel safe and happy. He seemed perfect, everything I needed. He was making my world brighter. I was learning to open my heart. This was a new feeling for Prim, a feeling of hope and joy. I had never felt this way before, but I did not know the truth. Dan had a very big secret. It was hidden deep inside him. I knew nothing about it. My new happiness was built on this secret. I thought my life was changing for the good. I thought I had found true love, but a secret can break everything. And Dan's secret was very powerful. It was waiting to come out. It was waiting to surprise me. It was waiting to hurt me, but not yet. For now, Dan was my perfect man, and I was a new woman. He leaves. For 3 months, my life was perfect. Dan was kind and funny. He made me feel safe. We spent many hours together, walking in parks and by the river. We ate dinner at small restaurants. Every day with him was happy. I started to believe in love. He was different from anyone I had ever met. I thought our future would be together. Then, one evening, Dan came to my apartment. His face was sad. He told me he had to leave the city for his job. My heart felt cold. I did not want him to go. I asked him, "When will you come back?" He looked down. He said, "I don't know, Prim, maybe not for a long time." He hugged me tightly. He kissed my forehead and said goodbye. His words cut deep. I watched him leave. The door closed and the quiet was very loud. I cried for many days after Dan left. Bella, my sister, tried to help me, but it was hard. The cafe felt empty without him. Every morning I looked at the door, hoping he would walk in, smiling. But he never did. I felt so lonely. I believed our story was finished. My heart was broken. I missed him very much. 3 weeks later, life felt gray. One sunny afternoon, I was walking home from work. I was thinking about Dan. Suddenly, I saw him. He was standing on the street corner. My heart jumped. It was really him. I started to smile. But then I saw her. A woman was standing next to him. She was pretty. Dan was holding her hand. They were laughing. They looked very happy. My smile disappeared. My heart broke again, worse this time. It was a sharp, painful feeling. I stood still, watching them. Dan looked at the woman with the same love he had shown me. My mind raced. How could this be? He said he loved me. He left for work. Was this his work? Then Dan looked up. His eyes met mine. His smile was gone. His face turned pale. He looked scared. He let go of her hand. He turned and ran away, disappearing into the crowd. I stood there alone, my heart shattered. The dream was over. The 3 perfect months were a lie. 4, the big surprise. Prim felt a strong need to understand. Her heart was broken, but now it was full of anger. She had to know why Dan was with another woman. She followed him through the city streets, staying far behind so he would not see her. He stopped at a big, grand hotel, a place for special parties. Prim watched him go inside. She took a deep breath and followed. She had to learn the truth. Prim walked into the hotel. Loud music played, and many people were dressed in beautiful clothes. She saw many flowers everywhere. It looked like a big party. Then she saw a sign that said, "Wedding." Her stomach dropped. A wedding? Whose wedding? Prim pushed through the crowd, her eyes searching for Dan. She found him at the front of a decorated room. There, at the front of the room, stood Dan. He wore a nice suit, like he did at the cafe. Next to him was the woman from the street. She wore a long, white wedding dress and looked very rich. Guests were smiling and clapping. It was Dan's wedding. He was marrying that woman, Elaine. Prim felt a hot fire inside her. Shock filled her mind, and rage filled her heart. How could he do this? He had kissed her weeks ago. He had told her he loved her. Now he was marrying someone else. All the pain came back, mixed with powerful anger. She could not stand there quietly. She had to speak. Prim took a step forward. Her voice was loud. She did not care who heard. "Stop!" she screamed. The music stopped. All the people turned to look. Dan looked at her too. His eyes were wide with surprise. He looked frozen like a statue. "He is a liar," Prim shouted again. "He told me he loved me. He kissed me last month." Her words echoed in the silent room. Everyone stared. The bride, Elaine, looked confused and angry. Dan did not move. He just stood there, staring at Prim. The silence felt very long. Then Dan opened his mouth. He said something that changed everything. His words surprised everyone. 5, a fake marriage. Dan stood still. The room became very quiet. Then he spoke in a clear voice. He told everyone that his marriage was not real. He said it was a fake marriage. Everyone looked shocked. The guests whispered to each other. Elaine, the woman he was supposed to marry, looked both angry and sad at the same time. Her face was red. Dan then explained why he was doing this. He said it was a business deal. He needed to get money from a will. His family's will said he had to marry someone from a special list of rich people. If he did this, he would get $10 million. He said he did not want to marry Elaine. She was just the only person from the list who agreed to his plan. He said he needed the large sum of money for something very important in his life. He looked tired as he spoke. Then Dan looked directly at me. His eyes were full of sadness. He said, "I wanted to marry you, Prim." His words were a big surprise. My mind was full of many different feelings. I felt angry because he had lied to me for so long. I felt confused because he suddenly said he wanted me. I felt sad because I had seen him happily holding hands with another woman just weeks ago. I did not know what to think or how to feel about any of it. My head was spinning. My heart was beating very fast, like a drum. I could not stay in that room even for one more second. It was too much information to understand all at once. I felt hot tears starting to form in my eyes. I quickly turned around and walked fast to the door. I did not look back at Dan or at the shocked faces of the guests. I just wanted to leave that place immediately. I pushed the big hotel door open and ran out into the street. The cold air outside felt good on my hot face. I ran down the street, crying very hard with each step. My legs felt heavy, but I kept going. I thought about everything Dan had just said. A fake marriage, $10 million. He wanted to marry me. It was too much to process. My head hurt from trying to understand. I wanted to forget him, forget this terrible day, forget everything that had happened. How could he do this to me? How could he tell me he loved me, then marry someone else, even if it was just a fake agreement? I felt like my entire world was broken into many pieces all over again. I kept running, not knowing where I was going, just needing to be far away from that hotel and from him. I just wanted to disappear from everything. 6. A secret life. Dan did not give up. He wanted Prim back. He sent her many letters, full of apology and regret. He called her phone many times. Sometimes Prim did not answer. Other times she listened but did not speak. She felt too hurt to talk to him. He also started visiting the small cafe again every morning. He would stand by the door watching her work, just like he did when they first met. But now things were different and everything felt broken. Prim felt many things inside her heart. She felt strong anger because of the wedding, because of the big lie. She felt deep hurt because he had left her. But deep inside, a part of her still loved him. It was a strange mix of feelings. She hated him for the pain he caused, yet she also loved him for the happiness he once brought. Her heart was confused. She did not know what to do. One night, Dan asked Prim to meet him outside the cafe after she finished work. She thought about it for a long time. Could she trust him again after everything? Finally, she said yes. She needed to know more to understand. He took her to a new place, a secret apartment. It was hidden away in a quiet part of the city. It was not his old home. This was a private space, a place he had kept just for them. When they went inside, Prim saw many photos. The walls were covered with pictures. There were photos of her smiling. There were photos of Bella, her younger sister, looking happy. There were also many pictures of Prim and Dan together from their past, showing their happy times and shared moments. Dan looked at Prim, his eyes showing sadness and hope. He spoke softly. He said he had never stopped thinking about her, not for one day. He told her that every single moment she was in his mind and in his heart. He said he wanted a real life, a true life, a future with her, not a fake one. He told her he did not want the money from the will anymore. He said he only wanted Prim and only Prim. Prim asked him about the other woman. "What about Elaine? What about your marriage?" she asked, her voice quiet. Dan took her hand gently, holding it tight. He said, "It will end soon, very, very soon." He told her he just needed one more signature, one piece of paper to sign. Then the fake marriage would be over, completely finished. He promised Prim that he would be free for her forever, and they could start a true life together. 7. The fight. Elaine came to the cafe. She looked very angry. She walked straight to me. I was working, serving coffee to a customer. Elaine had a glass of water in her hand. Before I could say anything, she threw the water in my face. It was cold. I was shocked. Water ran down my face and into my eyes. She started to shout. She said bad words. She called me poor and dirty. Many customers looked at us. I felt hot with anger. I picked up a small tray from the counter. I did not think. I hit Elaine with the tray. It was not a hard hit, but it surprised her. She screamed loudly. "I will tell my father," she shouted. I did not care what she would do. She deserved it. The cafe was very quiet after that. Everyone was looking. I felt my heart beating fast. This was a very bad day. Later that day, Dan came to the cafe. He looked worried. He found me cleaning tables. He asked if I was okay. I told him about Elaine. He listened carefully. Then he told me something important. He said he had ended the contract. The fake marriage was over. He had given back all the money. He did not want it anymore. Elaine's father was very angry, Dan said. But Dan did not care about the father's anger. He said that money was not important. He said that money could not buy true love. He looked at me with serious eyes. He said that I was what he truly wanted. He said he did not want money from a will. He only wanted me. Dan took my hand. He looked into my eyes. "Prim," he said, "I want to marry you for real this time. Not for money, not for a contract, for us, for our love." My heart felt many things. Part of me wanted to say yes immediately. I still loved him. But another part of me remembered all the pain. I remembered the wedding. I remembered the secret apartment. I remembered feeling like a secret. I pulled my hand away slowly. I looked at him. "No, Dan," I said. My voice was quiet but firm. He looked sad. "Why not?" he asked. "You need to prove your words," I told him. "You need to show me. not just tell me. I need to see real change. I need to know you are truly serious." He did not say anything for a moment. He just looked at me. The air felt heavy. He left the cafe after a few minutes, leaving me alone with my thoughts. I knew my decision was difficult for him, but it felt right for me. I needed more than words. I needed actions. 8. A happy ending. Dan really wanted to show Prim he was serious. He needed to prove his words with actions. He knew Prim needed to see a real change in his life. He wanted to build a future with her, a future without secrets or big money deals. He understood that Prim valued honesty and hard work more than anything else. He decided to change everything about his old life. He showed his commitment in many ways. First, Dan sold his expensive car. It was a very nice car, but he did not need it anymore. He used the money to help Bella. Bella was Prim's younger sister. She wanted to go to a good school. Dan paid for Bella's school with the money from the car. This made Prim very happy. It showed her that Dan cared about her family, not just about her. He was thinking about their future together. After selling the car, Dan started working 2 jobs. He worked very hard every day. He did not wear suits anymore. He lived a simple life. He moved into a small house with Prim and Bella. It was a big change from his old rich life, but Dan did not complain. He learned to live like Prim. He learned to appreciate simple things. He learned that real happiness was not about money. One night, Dan and Prim were sitting outside. They looked at the stars. It was a calm and beautiful night. Dan took out a small box. Inside was a ring. It was a simple ring made of silver. There were no diamonds. It was not expensive, but it meant a lot. Dan looked at Prim. He asked her to marry him again. This time, Prim felt different. She saw all the changes Dan had made. She saw his love. Prim smiled. She finally said yes. Her heart was full of joy. She knew this was real love. They planned their wedding. It was not a big wedding like Dan's first fake one. It was a small and beautiful ceremony. They got married in a garden. Only close friends and family were there. Prim wore a simple white dress. Dan looked very happy. Prim was still a strong woman. She was still loud sometimes, but she was not angry anymore. Her heart felt light and happy. She had found someone who loved every part of her. Dan loved her strong spirit. He loved her loud laugh. He loved her kindness. He loved her completely. Prim had found her happy ending. She knew their life together would be full of real love and happiness.
Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.